Hi and welcome back to our channel. I did receive a DM on Instagram to do this video. I have quite a bit of tattoos, and she was seeing peaks and pops and didn't really know what they look like in full because they were just kind of showing a little bit in a picture. So per the request, I am doing this video. I got tattoos very late. I got my first tattoo, I think I was 33 or 34. I got a small one to test it, even though my tattoo artist told me I could handle a big one since I'd given birth and everything else, but got a small one and I liked it. And my next one was pretty big, and I basically started becoming more and more addicted to getting tattoos, and I don't get small ones typically. I typically get quarter sleeves, half sleeves, stuff like that, and then build off of them. I did not do a pre-planned like layout or anything else. I just, when I want a tattoo, I get one, I find out where I want it, and so mine is like different styles, different types, and different things kind of jumbled together, but I love it. I think it looks fantastic. So I'm blessed to have an amazing tattoo artist. His name is CM Nagy, and I will link his Instagram below. He is one of the best tattoo artists I've ever worked with. Now, mind you, I've only worked with I think 4 or 5 because I do typically get with one person and stay there. But just even his artwork, he has an art background, and so he paints and everything else, and his tattoos are amazing. He knows how to bring it all together, and he also knows how to tell you when you not to do something. He'll let you know, no, that's not going to look good, let's do this instead. So I do appreciate his input in mine. So if you're interested in this, I call it a tattoo diary or a tattoo journey, then keep watching. So my first tattoo, I was around 33 or 34. I was kind of curious. My husband was getting a tattoo that day, and so I thought, okay, you know what, I'll just go ahead and get one. So I did pick something that technically I'm not really in love with now. It is a symbol of another language that I've heard, I think, 5 different meanings for it. So I'm not really in love with it, but my tattoo artist did fill it in another tattoo, so it's kind of neat that he was able to blend it in. It's not as obvious. But my first tattoo, is this symbol right here. It's very hard to kind of see it now that it's in there. So that was my very first, and I didn't wait too long to get my second. My second actually is a Muerta. I'm going to try to show you both sides of it. So it has the skull and the roses. So that was my second tattoo. It's about 4 inches in length on my arm and about 5 or 6 inches wide. I didn't find it to be, either one of those, to be very painful. I think the arms aren't painful at all. So I was pretty content with those. And then, actually I have to take off my watch for you to see the other ones. So I was pretty content with those. And then I did get 4 tattoos on my wrist of all words. So this is the one I'm not happy with. The tattoo artist actually did it wrong. I kind of knew at the time, but I wasn't being brave enough to tell him, but the line is touching. It's actually Arabic. It's supposed to say believe or to believe, but unfortunately, because the line is touching, it does mean something different in Arabic, and actually means something in Chaldean as well, I'm told. I also got my daughter's name on my wrist. This says Samara, and she passed away 15, almost 16 years ago, and so she's the only name I have on my body. I don't want anything else. So on the other wrist, I have believe, and I have eternal. So believe is just having faith in yourself and, you know, the Lord and everything else. But also it is believing that you can accomplish your goals. And so that was kind of an important tattoo to me, and I wanted it in both languages. And then eternal is actually, my husband and I both have that. We are eternally connected through our children and our experiences, and we always will have that connection. So that's why we got that one. So next I actually ended up getting a tattoo that I no longer have. It is covered. But it was a dragon tattoo of a baby dragon, and my goal was to have I have 5 sons, and to have a dragon of varying sizes for all 5 of my sons and go from my wrist all the way to my shoulder. It didn't work out. Unfortunately, I trusted a family member who showed me a tattoo book that looked like amazing work, and he scarred my arm. I found out later from other tattoo artists that likely he used a liner for the entire tattoo, but I did end up with huge scarring on my arm. This tattoo's here now, but it was huge scars, and it wouldn't heal. I had to go to the doctor. It just wasn't good. Luckily, there was nothing wrong in the sense of disease or anything like that. He did use clean needles, but it was just a situation I won't repeat. I always go to a shop now. So I was unhappy with that tattoo, but I thought it was going to cost a ton of money to cover, and I kept getting little ones and everything else. Finally, my tattoo artist said, let's just do it tonight. Let's do it tonight. Let's knock it out. Let's cover that ugly thing up. And so I was scared, but he showed me the prettiest drawing ever of the tattoo I now have. And so it made me really appreciate him stepping forward and saying, no, let's take care of that. So the tattoo that I got to replace is actually right here. It's roses. And it is, you can't see any of the former tattoo. He did such a good job of covering it, and it's such dark, detailed roses. They're absolutely phenomenal. So my next tattoo after that was actually my half sleeve on my right arm, and that looks like this. It's all roses. And that one I actually kept black and white for about 2 years. I couldn't decide if I was going to color or not. I got a lot of compliments on it being black and white, but eventually I did decide to, and I think that he did an amazing job with the different shades of green and the red filled in, and then also using my skin tone to pop through for highlight. So he did an amazing job. Again, that one, and my wrists did not hurt at all. My wrist, there's one line that I could kind of feel, but they weren't painful at all. So my next tattoo that I got was actually on my back. I will insert a picture. It's a 2-winged old-fashioned plane, and that is for my son Max. It has an M in the smoke, and I don't think the picture shows that, but it has an M in the smoke for him. He was actually the symbolism for the dragon tattoo, and he was pretty upset that I had to cover it, so I did let him pick something, and that is what was picked. So my next tattoo actually was a chest plate, and again I will insert a picture of this one because it's not easy to show. It's not colored yet, and I haven't added my chandelier underneath my breast yet, but I will be finishing that soon. So that one, again, the chest plate is supposed to be very painful. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be difficult to get through. However, I personally didn't think it hurt at all. There was guys in the shop, you know, I was covered with tape and everything else, and they kept peeking in like, you know, wow, she's not, you know, having pain, or she's not flipping out, and I almost fell asleep while he was doing it. That's how non-painful it was. However, I have talked to people that had chest plates that said they're very painful. So I think that it's just that everybody's nerves are distributed in different ways, and mine aren't there. So I got blessed in that way. So the very next tattoo I got after that was actually this one, and it says, "Be your own kind of beautiful." This is very important to me. It's about finding your beauty and not worrying about competing with other people. Especially as I got closer to 40, I started feeling like I needed to compete with younger people, or, you know, stay young or whatever. And that was something that I gave to myself to remind me that it's about my version of beautiful, not everyone else's, and I'm not in a competition. So that was the next one. The very next tattoo after that, I actually started a huge half sleeve on my other side, the one that I showed previously, and it does look like this. So I have Miss Marvel, and I have Simon Baz, who is the Green Lantern that's from Detroit. And it does come down and link into my other tattoo. And it goes up onto my shoulder. Oh, there's the M in the smoke. Another one I was talking about. So it does have a big amount. That one took, I think, 3 sessions to finish because it's so big. He did an absolutely fantastic job. I literally showed him 2 pictures on a comic book. He figured out the whole thing and did the whole tattoo, and then I was more than willing to accept his ideas. He is amazing. And then the very last tattoo that I actually received was for my other son, Marcus, and this is Luigi right here. He is just like a fun little character. Once the blowout heals, I do plan to add smoke for him too. Absolute coincidence that we did smoke on both of them, but that's supposed to be his little feet running like they do with the smoke kicking up. I plan to get more tattoos. I do have rules for myself that I don't do. I don't ever get anything on my neck, on my face. That's visual. I do work in an office. I'm an insurance agent, so I can't have a ton that's like absolutely visible. Although my work is very cool with tattoos. I can show my tattoos in front of my clients, things like that. I was very blessed to have an employer that allows that. I also don't ever do names. So like, for example, with my sons, I got the symbolism on them. I plan to get my other 3 sons as well, and it will not have their name on it. It will be an item, a person, or whatever to symbolize them. So if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this or unboxings and things like that, I do plan to do one on my piercing history. I was pretty pierced up previously and did take them out to return to the business world. But if you are interested in those videos, then click the subscribe button and ring the bell so you can be notified. We do upload every Thursday and Sunday and are adding some Tuesdays in. And hopefully you'll like and share this video. So thank you for watching.